Long before Christopher Columbus became a household name, a fearless Norse adventurer named Leif Erikson set foot on the shores of North America, a full 500 years before the famous Genoese explorer ever crossed the Atlantic. This is the incredible true story of the Viking who discovered America, a tale of courage and exploration that has been overshadowed for centuries. Born around 970 AD in the harsh landscapes of Iceland, Leif was the son of Eric the Red, the founder of Greenland's first Norse settlement. From an early age, Leif grew up hearing stories of distant lands and dangerous voyages across uncharted waters. His father's exile from Iceland and subsequent establishment of a Greenland colony showed young Leif that great rewards came to those brave enough to venture into the unknown. The turning point came when a Norse trader named Bjarni Herjolfsson shared an astonishing story. While attempting to reach Greenland, Bjarni's ship had been blown off course, revealing glimpses of mysterious, forested lands to the west. This report ignited Leif's imagination and set the stage for one of history's most important, yet often overlooked, voyages of discovery. Around the year 1000 AD, Leif assembled a crew of 35 hardy Norse seafarers and set out in a traditional Viking longship, battling treacherous North Atlantic currents and unpredictable weather. They followed Bjarni's route in reverse, eventually making landfall at 3 distinct locations that would enter Norse legend. First came Helgeland, Stone Slab Land, a barren, rocky coastline now believed to be Baffin Island in northern Canada. Next was Markland, Forest Land, almost certainly the Labrador coast with its dense woodlands that would have been invaluable to timber-starved Greenland settlers. Finally, they reached the most promising location of all, Vinland, Wineland, where wild grapes grew in abundance and the climate seemed favorable for settlement. Modern archaeological evidence strongly suggests that Vinland corresponds to Newfoundland's northern tip, where the remains of Norse settlement were discovered at Lance Aux Meadows in 1960. This UNESCO World Heritage Site proved conclusively that Vikings had reached North America centuries before Columbus, validating the Icelandic sagas that had preserved Leif's story. Leif and his crew established temporary quarters at Vinland, constructing sturdy Norse-style buildings and interacting with the indigenous peoples they called Skraelings. These encounters, described in the Viking sagas, represent the first documented meetings between Europeans and Native Americans. However, tensions and conflicts eventually forced the Norse to abandon their settlement after just a few years. The historical significance of Leif's voyage cannot be overstated. Not only did he and his fellow Vikings demonstrate remarkable seafaring skills by crossing the treacherous North Atlantic, but they also established the first European presence in the New World. While their settlements were temporary, they left behind archaeological evidence and written records that would eventually rewrite history. Despite this, Leif Erikson's achievements were largely forgotten for centuries, overshadowed by Columbus's later and much better publicized voyage. It wasn't until the discovery of the Lance Aux Meadows site that the Viking explorer received proper recognition. Today, October 9th is celebrated as Leif Erikson Day in the United States, honoring his pioneering journey. Leif's story represents more than just an historical footnote. It's a testament to human curiosity and courage. In an age when most Europeans believed the ocean was an impassable barrier, Viking explorers like Leif Erikson pushed the boundaries of the known world. Their advanced shipbuilding techniques and navigational skills allowed them to achieve what will remain impossible for other Europeans for another 5 centuries. What other forgotten explorers might be waiting to be rediscovered by archaeologists and historians? How many other chapters of human exploration remain buried beneath the sands of time? Leif Erikson's story reminds us that history is constantly being rewritten, and that sometimes the most important discoveries are those that have been hiding in plain sight all along.